I want to take a couple minutes and talk about that group discussion board assignment that we're going to have. So this assignment is going to be the article group discussions, the ones that we have done some of in class, and we're going to finish them up now online. These are going to happen the week of April 13th to the 17th. We are going to do them all this week. So even though in the classroom we were just doing one at a time, this week's going to have the remaining few that we have left all going at the same time. Here's what's going to happen. So I have to explain this two ways. I have to explain this for those who are in the groups and for those who are not in the groups. To save some time for those who are not in the groups, I'm going to explain them first. If you are not in any of the groups that need to present, let's say you were in the intelligence group and intelligence already presented, what you have to do is only to reply to 2 different classmates on each one of those forums. So you need to reply to 2 classmates on the memory forum and 2 classmates on the social forum. If there's 3 that are still left to present, you would reply to 2 on each one of the 3. I have one class that has 3 that also has development to present. You then don't have to make a main post. So those 250 word posts that we were doing, that we did last week for memory, you do not have to do a main post for this assignment if you are not in any of the groups that are presenting. All you would then have to do, reply to 2 classmates on each one of the forums. So that means you have more than 2 replies to do. You have to do 2 on memory, 2 on social, and if you're in the class that has development as well, then you have to do 2 on development as well. So 4 for most of you, 6 for that one class that is the one extra discussion behind. And that will be that 5% of your grade for the group discussion board assignment. Now, if you are in one of the groups, this changes slightly. If you're in one of the groups, the main post for that forum is going to be what you send me. You, as a group, are going to send me either a PowerPoint or a 2 to 3 page paper. If most of the groups were already using the PowerPoint, I actually think most of the groups have contacted me that they already have a PowerPoint done. So for those of you who do, you're going to email me that PowerPoint. And that's one PowerPoint for the whole group, not for each person. I'm going to post a link to that PowerPoint. If you don't have the PowerPoint done and you want to do this as a paper, 2 to 3 pages, most of the groups have thereabouts of 5 in them. So it's like half of a page each person. So it's not a 2 to 3 page paper each person. It's a 2 to 3 page paper for the group. Each person can basically contribute half of a page. And I'll post the link to that paper then. The rest of the class is going to read your PowerPoint or your paper. That is going to be the main post that I need to have sooner rather than later. I want that by Monday of the week, so on April 13th. So that way I can post them. On April 13th, everyone gets plenty of time to look at them. Then what I'm going to need from you is 1 discussion question per person now. This isn't for the whole group, this is per person. Instead of doing the 10 for the whole group in the classroom, we're going to do 1 per person that you're responsible for. So if you're in a group of 5, each one of the 5 is going to send me 1 question, and you can either send it to me or you could just post it yourself. It might be easier if you send it to me and I'll make the forums for each one of you. But if you want to just post it yourself, that's fine with me too. So either email me the question one by one. If you send me 1 email for the whole group, just tell me whose question is whose. I do need to know who's going to moderate each forum, each question. So if you were in the memory group, you will then, let's say you have 5 of you in the group and you're in memory. You send me that PowerPoint or 2-page paper that's on the main topic for the forum, for the discussion board, and each one of the 5 of you have 1 question that you are now responsible for. I'm going to post all 5 of those questions for everyone to see. The rest of the class, like I mentioned a couple minutes ago, has to pick 2 of those 5 then. So they're not going to reply to every one of you. Hopefully it's spread out so that everyone gets like 5 different posts or something on their question. You will then be in charge of moderating your question. Meaning, if let's say 5 people replied to your question, you have to reply to all 5. That replied to your specific question, not to your other group's questions. If you want to help them out, sure. If you happen to notice that one person got 10 replies and you only got 3, help them out a little bit. Sure, that's always nice to do, just like you could do that in the class and help pick each other up. But you have to reply to every single classmate that posts a reply to your form, to your question on your form. What you're doing with those replies is you're linking things together. So you might be saying, oh, this person actually said something very similar. You guys seem to agree. Or, you actually have a complete different perspective than this person does. You're linking things, you're adding things, you're doing the same thing that you would have done in the classroom, trying to build that layer of discussion. So it's not just post reply, it's post reply reply. The other classmates can then reply to your message if you want. It's not required, so I doubt there'll be too much of that. But you should be paying attention. So for your form, you should be checking in multiple times. For the one that we're doing next week, where it's the one I'm giving you for memory, most people are going to do it this way. They're going to make that 250 word post and check back in one more time on Thursday or Friday and reply to two classmates, and that's it. The people who are not in one of the groups are going to do something similar. They're going to check in maybe on Wednesday or Thursday, and they're going to reply to two people on the memory forum, two on the social forum, and then they're going to more or less be done. But if you're in one of the groups, you should be checking a few times throughout the week. So that way you're replying as they come in more or less. It doesn't have to be within 24 hours, but you should be checking back a little bit more frequently so you don't miss anything or they don't add up for you. Now, one last thing. If you're in the memory group, your 10% of your group discussion grade for that article group discussion that we were doing is now based off of your form. So your PowerPoint or paper and you moderating that one discussion question that you have. The other 5% for the week is for the asking questions to the other forms. So you still have to do that. If you're in the memory group, you still have to reply to two classmates in the social group. You don't have to reply to two of your other group members for memory, but you have to reply to two classmates for social. If you're in the group that has three, then two classmates for development. So let's say you're in the social group. You submit to me your PowerPoint. You have your question. Your question had 7 different classmates reply to them, and you reply back to all 7. You're going to get probably 10 out of 10 on the group discussion assignment. We still have the other assignment that you have available. So to get 5 out of 5 on the other group discussion assignment for this week, you have to go into now the memory forum and reply to two classmates' questions. So make sure you do both. I think that's it. So if you have any questions, you're going to let me know. Due dates for everything. I want the PowerPoint/paper by Monday, April 13th. The discussion questions should be April 13th as well. And then I'm going to ask that you check in a few times throughout the week. So it's okay if you don't check on Tuesday, for example, but check Wednesday, Thursday, Friday kind of thing. Check back a couple times, reply to the comments that you have. You can email me and I'll post the discussion questions for you. If you really wanted to post them yourselves, there's nothing that stops you. It's probably easier if you're emailing it to me, and then I'll just make sure I post them for everyone. All right, if you have questions, email me and we'll chat some more.